Essentially, it's just a 3D geometric puzzle game, and it's all about just orientating these simple geometric shapes and trying to fit them into these floating islands, essentially just to repair them and restore order to this quite abstract world. So you progress through different islands, and the further you go, the kind of better the aesthetic of the game grows.
How did you come up with that idea then? Where does it originate from?
Essentially, well, at the start of third year at uni, we had an elective module where we needed to come up with some mini party game, and I was playing around with a few kind of Mario Party-esque ideas, and then decided to try something a little bit more unique. So initially it was supposed to be a two-player game where you're both controlling the same piece at the same time, and you worked on different perspectives to try and solve the puzzle together. And then our lecturers were quite keen on the idea, quite liked how it was going, so we took it to Sony down in London to pitch it to them, which was terrifying. It seemed to go pretty well, and then in fourth year we kind of took it further, started developing it more whilst working with Sony, and in the end we came up with a single player game that's out on the store.
Obviously, when did the idea start? How long has it been in development? And obviously, because I know it's the first game that's been published on PS4 by a student. How proud are you of that?
Really proud. Yeah, it's just a cool thing to be able to say that you're the first of anyone to do it. The project actually started, it would have been around September 2013, so it's been a while in development, but of course we've had that to do alongside many other projects. So it's quite difficult to juggle it all around, but as something like that crops up, you're bound to spend quite a lot of time doing that to make sure, because that's the thing that's eventually going to get you a job, I guess.
Yeah, and talk about Steel Minions, what exactly is that?
Yeah, that's the little it's Hallam's little indie development studio. So it's completely all students. The lecturers are there to kind of help it through and stuff, but they don't produce any of the work or anything like that. And it's basically just any students that kind of show some sort of initiative or have a promising project. You basically push it through the Steel Minions studio, and you essentially become a part of it. You work on it for a while alongside your other projects, and then you get something that's a little bit more polished and or potentially released on a store.
And PieceFall going forward, I'm sure, is there a sequel in the works, or what about yourself? Are you looking to go on and expand onto bigger and better games?
Well, at the moment I've recently gotten a job at Sumo Digital, so I'm not going to be working on PieceFall any further. But we have discussed, like the team and my lecturers, we have discussed before about how we might do something more as a little studio, which probably wouldn't involve that much input from me, but I might come into the studio if other students are working on it just to see how it's going and maybe offer some ideas or something. But it's almost like handing the torch over essentially to some newer students with their projects.
Obviously, I'm sure you've been into gaming quite a lot of your life. For someone who's looking to get into something that you've done, what would you say the path is for you? I mean, obviously I know you've chosen to come to university and do a degree. Is that the best path, do you reckon?
For me, definitely, because I think up until 12 or 13 I didn't even know that these courses existed, and it was only because I happened to be looking around just to see if there was something like that. But I've learned completely all my skills to do with gaming, game design at Hallam. I didn't have any experience before that, so I've learned it all here, and I definitely recommend it. But I guess other than that, if you've already got a bit of 3D art skills, there's plenty of stuff on YouTube, stuff like that to teach yourself. There's digital tutors, all these subscription services where you can learn a lot of it. But the thing that's really good about Hallam is that you have that kind of one-to-one with lecturers. You can get some real guidance and experience helping you out through that process.